I don't know if you guys noticed, I completely don't like to talk about politics. This is something I talked about for a while now. Yeah. Um but at the same times I feel like we should talk about it, and we should address this situation and the entire thing that is happening, because things are going a little bit crazy. Um but at the same time, like I said, yeah. Um, I'm saying a lot of ums. Okay, let me just like start to explain. First of all, as you know, I don't like to talk about the governments and stuff like this, but at the same time, I cannot tell you guys that like so many of you send me messages about it, and I was just like, on one hand I hate talking about governments and politics and stuff, but on the other hand I am always telling you guys to go and ask the citizens and the civilians of the country, and not immediately go and believe the media. And then I thought, like, how can I just like, you know look the other way and not give my 2 cents or 2 shekels about it, um, if you guys have been asking me to do it. Because honestly, it is important, and I'm super proud of you for reaching out and for asking questions. Even if I hate talking about this subject, I don't know how much I can clarify it, because it is super annoying. However, we're going to just talk about it. So for those of you who doesn't know, um, right now we have the government, and the prime minister is Naftali Bennett, and they were the majority. They built a government, and right now, slowly, people started to leave the government, saying they will still do their job, but they will not be part of that party, which means that slowly, the government got, like, the party that is ruling got smaller and smaller, until eventually, well, it's not disappeared, but there's not enough people to make sure that there will be the ruling party of Israel. And this is why people start saying, okay, we don't trust that government. People are just like moving all the times there. So right now we are heading to the fifth elections in the, I think, the past three or no, in the past 2 or 3 years, which is completely insane. I already post a video of like when I did the elections last year, when I showed you guys how things looks like and what do we have to do and stuff, because I thought, oh, this is cool. This is a fun way. I'm gonna show you. It's not gonna happen in like the next 4 years, so I should do it. Little did I know that um there is another another elections, which is great. Which is like, because if there's one thing about Israeli people, we're very opinionated and we love to choose things. So yeah, another one, just like we cannot make sure that our government will stay, which is a little bit of a problematic things for us. I'm sorry for my English, and like, you need to remind me to drink water. um so, and for the people who will watch this live stream after it was live, I do apologize, because I'm more communicated with the chat, so maybe you will not understand a lot of things. So, one thing that is the government that we have right now, the entire purpose of the government, and this is also the how they brought people to join them, is the reason that brought people to join them is that they always said, we're not going to be like Benjamin Netanyahu. That was like their slogan, Rak lo Bibi, just not Bibi. Bibi is Benjamin Netanyahu. This is just, if you saw my videos, we give ridiculous nicknames to like almost everyone in power here. Um, so the only reason they were elected is because people said, okay, Benjamin Netanyahu was here for a long time. Maybe it's time to do something different. Maybe it's time for some change. And then they chose a different party. The problem is that that different party was just like every time they tried to do something, it didn't work. And they tried to create something with the, if you've seen my last live stream, I showed you the people who are in the government right now. in the Israeli memshala. Government is memshala. And I showed you exactly. We're talking. We had a conversation about, do we have a Palestinians, or do we have Arabs and non-Jewish people in the government? And I just showed you the pictures and the names of all of them, so you will see exactly how it looks like. And it's not that we didn't have Arabs and Palestinians in the government before. It's just that this time they, I feel like this time they spoke up a little more, and this was maybe a little bit problematic for them. For example, there is one Arab woman in the government that is openly supported the LGBTQ plus whatever movement. Like, she said, hey, maybe gay Arabs not supposed to die. Maybe it's okay for them to be alive. And I this also got a lot of backfired and stuff. So I, like, on one hand, I'm really proud of the people in that government that they stood up and spoke loudly about things that were important to them, even if they knew they will get a lot of hate from their own people and stuff like this. But at the same time, we didn't saw a lot of progress. Like, if the entire reason for you to be in charge is because you don't want Benjamin Netanyahu, like, this is not a good enough reason. And I'm so glad that people are finally realizing it right now. Now, I'm not saying that I'm pro or against Naftali Bennett or Benjamin Netanyahu. I'm saying that this caused a lot of problems. If you saw, I'm keep saying to, like, if you saw videos with it, I was talking to you about how Gantz, Benny Gantz, our security office, I don't remember English, I'm sorry. He came to Bahat to try to see if our armies can work together. And this is one thing that was super important. But at the same time, right now, when the government is shutting down and everything, and we're going to elections, this will be one thing that will stuck. This will be one of the a lot of things that will not move forward and will not, achieve something, at least not for now. And this is a major problem. This is not okay, because if we're starting things, the reason, like, we're starting communications with different countries, we never had communications before, and everything will be on pause right now, which is so not cool. Like, we need to, and of course, it's not like the government will not work and that is it. The government will still work until the fifth election is going to happen. It's not that right now we don't have a prime minister and all that stuff. Like, we still have it. However, people are getting ready to change them. So no one will actually no one will set a new rule, no one will do a new law, no one will try to even start a movement of something, because no one is in that mindset in the government right now. Everyone are just like looking like, oh, I might be replaced. So everyone is just like making sure to keep on like their seat and stuff, and not to actually do something, which is a huge problem, at least for like where I'm standing. Because right now, bottom line, like, okay, there are people in charge, but they're not really people in charge, because they will not do anything. um so this is a major problem. Let's see if you guys have any questions in the chat. What is the type of election in Israel? What do you mean fifth elections? Sorry, I'm late. It's all good. It's all okay. I'm here to explain. So first of all, we have a democratic election. I posted a link to show you. Like, I did a vlog last year about how we vote. We're going to a specific place. Everyone gets like a specific place that he can go and put and write down, or either put the card of the name of a person he thinks should run like the government, the city, the country, and just like we put it in the box, and the person with the highest count of like voices, people who like voted him, he can get to try to create a government. So he's like going to all the people, to all the different parties. I'm sorry, I just realizing my hair is a mess. He's going to all the different parties and asking them like, what do you want, what do you like? And some parties saying, we're more focusing about the educational system, so we want to like, we're going to be in the government if you're going to give us the job of working about the educational system in Israel. Other people will say it's more important to us the security and stuff like this. So he just like create the government from all the different parties, and then they create a government. Now there are people in the like that are pro the government and people who are against the government. All of those parties, if they've been chosen by enough people, are sitting together and trying to make sure that our country will run smoothly. In fifth elections is because we're like, I don't know what's wrong with people, but no one was able to maintain the, no one was able to actually maintain his seat, and like government will just like go up and down. It was just like so many problems, so many problems. um let's see if you have any other questions that are related to what I am talking about. um okay, not a lot of things. So another thing that is really important, I see a lot of you here, for example, supporting Netanyahu. Like I said, I'm not pro and I'm not against Benjamin Netanyahu right now. I'm just like really, it's really important for me to clarify. Right now, Benjamin Netanyahu is still under the investigation that maybe he did some problematic things, but like every politician did a problematic thing, at least from where I'm standing. I don't know, I'm always thinking that, governments are just like run by people who want to be in charge. And when someone is inspiring and someone wants all that power, eventually he will do something that is problematic. This is why you guys always check yourself. If you're in a position of power, make sure that you're not taking advantage of it. Um, now, because I said this government only came to replace Benjamin Netanyahu. He finally got some free time, and unfortunately, he spent that free time to be a grumpy old man on Twitter and Instagram. You can go and see his tweets. I don't know, maybe his tweets in English are different from the one in Hebrew, but he was also always macking down the people in the government, and he was just like an old man on Twitter and Instagram. That's like the only thing. Like, this is how to explain who he was, which is a big problem because like I don't know, I expected more of him, and I was a little bit disappointed when I saw him like acting the way he is acting on social media. Because like, come on, guy, you used to be a prime minister. Just like, what is going on? So as you know, I'm gonna just put the if you want to join this live stream, hold on. Let's see, join the stream and then a link, and I will put it here. Now you can come and ask questions at the same time. You know that most of the things I will tell you, like, I do not know. Um Okay, see, I see a lot of people that are like Benjamin Netanyahu. First of all, we have to, yeah, he did a lot of amazing things. He had a record of incredible things, and he was in power for a long time. So there's a lot of people who didn't really had a different prime minister in their lifetime. And right now they did for like almost a year. So it is something that is pretty interesting to see how people are like how what people think of Benjamin Netanyahu outside the country and inside the country, because I think like people sold, like the media have sold you Benjamin Netanyahu as this hero, and he's just a person, and we should all remember that. Yes, he's super smart, he's giving an amazing lectures and stuff, but he is still a person. And I think like especially in Baharat, people are glorifying him way too much, which is something that like almost make me, on I don't know, uncomfortable, because he is still a person. So let's just like bring down all the worshipping Naftali Bennett things. Um, let's see. Bennett is a powerful leader, but Netanyahu can also be considered kind of difficult to vote on. It is. First of all, if you can, guys, write in the chat if you have an opinion or something, just like write where you are from, because it is important to me and interesting to me to know where you guys are from. Also, if you are only from Bahat, where you are in Bahat, because it is important to me to know what you guys are thinking about us and how you guys seen us, um, and where you guys are from. Um, let's see. Uh, I'm asking again. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed your question before. Why Israelis give factors and razor think Monday? It's almost impossible to rule that. Morgan. Okay, I'm not sure I understand your question. So you can hop in the box and just like explain exactly like what is the thing, because right now the Israeli government, it is working. Like it's not that we're shutting down. It's all good. Um Okay, please explain the election process. So, like I said, I already made a vlog about it. Feel free to go and watch it. The whole point is that we're getting every civilian in Israel getting a card that is showing has his information about it on him, and they're saying like where can you go to vote. So you go into a place, you get inside this closed box, the box that no one can see, and you just like you get an envelope and you go to that box. On that box there's a lot of different cards of the name of the candidates that you choose one of the people who you want to create the government. Put it in the envelope. It is super like they're making sure there's no like you cannot put two. You don't have to put like the second there is more than one thing, or if it's wrinkly or something, it's immediately disqualified. So you need to be perfectly like make sure you know exactly what you're doing there. And then after that they will just count the votes, and then they say which person got the most votes, and that person can create the government. Now it's not the person who got the highest vote is the person who will eventually will be the prime minister, because sometimes people who get the highest votes try to create governments, like I said before, go into different parties and try to make sure some like the majority of the parties will work together. Sometimes it's not working, and then the person who got list like the person who got to the second place will be given the opportunity to create the government. So it is something that just like takes a little time. um yeah, let's see. um I mean, people don't vote for a single party. Yeah, that's exactly. In their area, many parties which are polar episodes. Then a black ferns can. Yeah, okay. Yes, it's not for, well, you're voting for the party you want to be in the government, but at the same time, the person who like you vote for the person, but at the same time, like you want the party that is most of the people want the party that is they are choosing to be the party that will run the government, or that will be the majority, like they will have more people, because it is when you like the amount of people who are voting, like amount of voters you have, this is how like for let's just say for 100 people you get one person in the government, one of your people in the party in the government. Obviously it's way more, but I'm just like breaking it down because I tired. um so every time you vote in, so you have, for example, you say, okay, the party of Benjamin Netanyahu, the Likud, they got 16 people that can enter the Knesset. This is how people vote them. And then the party of, I don't know, Meretz, a different company, got 5 people. So they can see, it's just like every people, like one person per amount of civilians. And then then they will try to create a majority of people. So there is 120 people in the Knesset, so they need to create majority. That is it. um so a lot of people ask me who I am going to vote right now. Honestly, I'm not that sure, because when I saw Benjamin Netanyahu not being a prime minister and how he is reacting and how he's talking and stuff, like I said, a lot of things, like I'm always telling you, you guys need to learn, like, or at least translate what the politicians are saying in their native language and then see what they're saying to the rest of the world. But he did some such a grumpy old man comments and stuff, so I'm not sure about him right now. At the same time, Naftali Bennett is the guy who wrote a book during the pandemic, which, by the way, is coming back, at least from what I've heard. Naftali Bennett wrote a book of how to beat the pandemic, and that book, like, it was such a huge book and everything, but at the same time, this book, like, nothing from what he said worked. So maybe some of it worked, but we still have government, like, we still have COVID. So it is, like, I don't know, in so many ways he was trying to create things, but at the same time he did not succeed to create what he wanted to create. But if the only point of what he did was to make sure Benjamin Netanyahu will not be the prime minister, fine, he did a great job. But if his job was to make sure that Israel will run smoothly in a better way, I don't really see a difference. Like, I live in Jerusalem, Israel, as you know. People say, like, terror attack were here before during Benjamin Netanyahu time. Terror attacks are still here during Naftali Bennett time. Not a lot of things have changed. Honestly, with I know, like, governments will always just like try, like, politicians will try to say things were so much different when I was in charge and stuff. It's not. It's honestly, like, as a civilian, it's not. So we just, like, it was really important to know, it was really important for me just to clarify this. So, like I said, I know, like, I didn't give you a lot of information, I think, but at the same time, right now, if you're asking what the civilians of Israel, I can say from me and from my friends, we are just confused. Honestly, we do not really trust any more parties because we saw what was happening. We saw, like, what's the intention of other parties and stuff, and we are just like, nothing honestly got down, like, absolutely nothing. So it's not that we can say that was a good try and we're glad it happened. Yeah. So if you're gonna ask me right now who will I be voting for right now, no idea. I'm about to say anyone. Like, not even one, but I'm not sure. And it is super important to, to vote, because I mean, if you're not voting, you have absolutely no right to talk about the government. Anyway, that was my 2 shekels about the entire government scenario and stuff. Thank you so much for joining and for watching this small stream. I try to do it as small as I can and as quick as I can. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.